Baya Sha'ala, which means to Israel. Imagine, which means to stand. All right. Upanya Akwadam, which means to face the east. Right. Upanya Akwadam, once again, which means to face the east. We're not going to get into the Lord's Prayer. All right. This is the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Haya, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakwaka, Taba'a, Razaka, Haya, Asha, Baratazak, Kawa, Haya, Slak, Haya, Vashem Yahushai, Slak, Haya, Vashem, Vashemayim, Natamanawa, Nakam, Kal, Yawan, Vasalak Manawa, Kabawakawa, Kasalakawa, Kabawak Yanawa, Wala'a, Taba'ana, Walasayawan, Abo, Abashanawa, Mayan, Ra, Tayel, Lakat, Amalakwa, Wa'ala, Watapara, La Abalamim, Aman. Lord's Prayer in the English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Yahweh. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. So be it. Amen. The cock, the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Vashim Yahushai, Bakashah, Nathanganaw, cock, the cock, Lord Ba'ah, Kormakala, the Kormanawa, cock, Batahar, Hamakazarian, cock, the Hakim, Hamakim, cock, Arakawak, Hazam Allah, the Garshin, Vashim Yahushai, the Waraman, in the English. Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out. In the name of Yahushua, thank you, so be it. Bless Israel in the Hebrew. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, Barak Banawa, Wayasha Allah, Wahabayat, Sapari, Barak, Hashem Yahushua, Tawaraman. In the English, Lord, in the name of Yahushua, bless us in Yasha Allah in the school. In the name of Yahushua, thank you, so be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'a, Ayanya, Ahari, Ma'ayan, Yaba'a, Azaria, Ma'ayin, Yahweh, Asha, Shemaya, Warataza, Ayathan, Lamawat, Ragoka, Ayanawam, Shemarka, Hana, La'a, Yanawam, Wala'a, Yasham, Shawamar, Yasha'ala, Yahweh. Shamarka Yahweh, Tazaka, Ayah, Yamyaka, Yawamam, Hashemash, Ma'ayakak, Wayarak, Walayala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makhora, Yashamar, Akapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar to the Atka, Wawatka, Mayata, Wa'ai, Abalam. Psalms 121 in the English. I lift up my eyes into the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Yasha Allah shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in, from this time forth and even forevermore. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim, Al-Dami-Alaka, Al-Akarash, Al-Dashakwa, Al-Kiyahana, Awadita, Yahamiyawan, Ra'ash, Al-Amaka, Yarayamba, Sawada, Wayataya Tazawa, Al-Tazapuwanyaka, Amaru, Lakawa, Munakakilam, Ugoya, Wala Ayatakar, Shamya Sha'ala, Awada, Kaya, Nawai Tazawa, Labat, Yakadawa, Ayaka, Barayak, Yakarakwa, Ahoya, Adawan, Washama, Alayam, Mawa'aba, Wagari, Gabal, Wamawan, Wamalak, Palashaf, Amyashabia, Tazabur, Kam Ashabur, Nalawat, Imam, Hayawat, Zarwat, Lapanya Lawat, Salah, Ashalaham, Kamati, Kasiyasa Ra'am, Kayabi, Banakor, Koyashwan, Nashimatwa, Bayanga Aura, Hayawat, Daman, La'adamat, Shatamwa, Nala Yamawa, Kaira, Wakazabat, Wakazabazorvana, Karnasi Akamwa, Ashar, Amara, Narasha, Lanawa, Naawa, Alahayam, Alahaya, Shatamwa, Kagaga, Kakwach, Lapanya Rawaka, Kaash, the Baria Ira, Wa Kalaba, Alahat, Haria, Kandar Dakma, Vasaraka, Wabasa, Wapatha, Alaham, Mala'a, Panyam, Palawan, Wayapa Kwashwa, Shikar Yahawa, Yabashwa, Yabashwa, Wayapa Hawa, Ayai, Wayapa Parwa, Waya Abadma, Waya Daiwa, Kaya Atha, Shikar Yahawa, Labaka, Ayawan, Al Kaharakasa. Psalms 83 in the English. Hear not thy silence, O Yahweh. Hold not thy peace and be not still, O Yahweh. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come, and let us cut them off and be the nation, that the name of Yashar'Allah may be no more in remembrance. For they are consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom and the Israelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes of Baal and Ammon, and Amalek, and the Philistines, the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur also joined with them. They have opened the children of Lot, Salah, going to live unto the Midianites, as the Sisera, as the Jabin, at the brook of Kisan, which bears at Endor. They became as dung for the earth, making nobles like a rib, and like said, yea, are the princes as the Ba and as the moon, who said, Let us take to ourselves the house of Yahweh in possession, over my power, making like a wheel at the stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth the wood, and as the flames set the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest and make them afraid of thy storm. Through their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name, O Yahweh. O Lord, let them be confounded in trouble forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high over all the earth. Right. I supplicate power structure. Blessed are you, Yahweh, King of heaven and earth, and all things living, Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh Shah, listen to us now, right now. Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction to the heathen that speak against us, thy prophets, the teachers, the apprentices, the priests, the Israelite brothers, and the school. Send evil and curses and punishment and destruction to the heathen, and shake loose the treasure of the rich of Israel that refuse to give to the school. Force their riches to enter thy sanctuary. Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction to the Edomites and the nations and the drug dealers, the court system, the prison system, Planned Parenthood, all the governments of our enemies, Amalek synagogues and armies, Roman Catholic Church, the Pope, Islam, Christianity, Egyptology, militia, Ku Klux Klan, Aryan Nation, skinheads, Hazi Kamikaze, the gay movement, the lesbian movement, spies, workers of witchcraft, NASA space programs, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Wall Street, open up the internet and airways, the cable access channels, and the radio channels. Convict the spirit of any of thy people that seek to stop us, and bring swift destruction to all the heathen that stand in the way, or try to stop us to broadcast your words throughout the planet Earth. Let loose all the plagues, cause them to go to and fro through the earth and consume them. Let the plague shake the house of the thief and the murderer. Let Yahweh Shai, Michael, and Gabriel come down with flying saucers and punish all the heathens that come up against us as you speak thy word. Cause it to be known by all that it is the angels that have done it. Cause it to be spread through the media, throughout the whole world. Cause it to shake at thy coming. In the name of Yahweh Shai, thank you always, so be it. All right, Sarah, which is the turn. Okay. Right. All right. Yeshadim, which means to be seated. Okay. Now it's locking. All right. All right. Once again, Yeshadim, which means to be seated in Hebrew. First things first, I do want to say Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahweh to the brothers, Shalom Yahweh Shamar, Allah Shem Yahweh Shai to the sisters. All right. What that was a salute for brothers and sisters. If you are a so-called Black, Hispanic, Native Indian, if you come from those tribes, of course, you know what I mean, this is a class for you. So as you know, every Saturday is what we call the Sabbath service. And the Sabbath service is very traditional and cultural in the Israelite community. All right. So if you are a part of the 12 tribes, the nation of Israel, then that means that you are God's chosen people. Okay. Let me see. All right. Let me see something here. So like y'all bear with me real quick. All right. So with that being said, we are going to get into the Hebrew, and then we're going to translate it into the actual English. So in ancient times, you would have men who would sit at the podium with garments on, and with the garments, of course, which is very traditional, right? As you see, this is all studded up. Got the shield of, the shield of David, not the Star of David, but the shield of David. And men would sit at the podium and actually read the actual language of their native tongue, which is the ancient Hebrew, all right? Or ancient Paleo Hebrew to be exact, okay? Now, if you watch Friday's classes, which is a language class, you can see that we go into the ancient Paleo Hebrew, not the modern that you will see today that the Jewish goes over, all right? It's ancient Paleo Hebrew. Then we also dive into a little bit of Assyrian, okay? So with that being said, let's get straight to it. If anybody has any questions or concerns, you can go ahead and type it into the chat, all right? Okay, all right, let me see something real quick. All right. All right, here we go. So we are now in Exodus, the 28th chapter, verses 11. So Exodus chapter 28, verses 11, all the way to chapter 29, verse 16. So we are going to read all these scriptures all the way through 49 to be exact. All right. Once again, if anybody has any questions or concerns, please type it into the chat. We'll get right to it. Otherwise, let me see where's my start point and end point. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So Exodus chapter 28, verse 11. Ma'ashah, Karash, Adon. No, sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, sorry. Aban. Salaki. Patawakia. Patawakia. Katham. Thapatha. Shatia. Slakia. Ha Bunyan. Shamath. Bunyan. Yasha'ala. Masabath. Mashabat Zawath. Zahar. Thayashah. Atham. Verse 12. Washamath. Shafia. Habanyam. Kathapath. Hapad. Abanya. Zakaran. Labanya. Yasha'ala. Wabashah. No. Wanashah. Aharon. Shemathum, Lapunya, Yahweh, Al, Shafia, Katapawa, Lazakaran, verse 13. Ba'ashith, Mashabatazath, Zahab, verse 14. Washathia, Sharashrath, Zahab, Tawar, Magabalath, Thyasha, Atham, Mayasha, Ibath, Winatha, Ath, Sharashrath, Ha'ibatath. So Ha'ibatath. Al. Hamashabatazath. Verse 15. Wa'ashith. Kashan. Mashapat. Ma'aisha. Slide. Ma'aisha. Kashab. Kamisha. Apad. Thyashanwa. Zahab. Thakalath. Slakia. Argaman. Slakia. Watha Alas. Shunya. Washash. Mashazar. The Aisha. Verse 16. Rabiah. Yahaya. Kapawal. Jerath. Arakwa. Wazarath. Rakabwa. Verse 17, last verse. What Malah? But what? Mala'ath. Abun. Arabah. Tawarium. Abun. Tawar. Adam. Hatada. Wabarakwath. Hatawar. Haka. And that's it on that. Clap it up. All right, those was definitely a little longer, tongue twister. So, like, if y'all could give me 1 second here. All right. All right, so that was 7 verses into the Hebrew. Now let's get into let's see it. Now let's get into the actual English. All right. This is going to be Exodus chapter 28, verse 11. Okay. All right, Exodus chapter 28, verse 11. With the work of an engraver in stone. Actually, let me go all the way back to the top real fast, all right? So that way we can get some context of last week, all right? So Exodus chapter 28, verse 1. And take thou unto thee Aaron thy brother, and his sons with him, from among the children of Israel, that he may minister unto me in the priest's office. Even Aaron, Nadab, and Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar, Aaron's sons. Verse 2. And thou shalt make holy garments for Aaron, thy brother, for glory and for beauty. Once again, the garments that we wear in the Israelite school of universal practical knowledge are what you see today, all right? Some people may say that we look like Power Rangers. Some people think that we are cosplaying as someone else when this is absolutely our culture. Us wearing these garments with the studs, with the fringes, all right, down to our past our knees, all right? This is our culture. And if you look into the Zondervan's Bible dictionary, what you will also see as well is that the Israelites wore garments, all right? In the Zondervan's Bible dictionary, if you look under dress, it's going to say garments. And it's going to show you the difference between a man's garment and a woman's garment, all right? Garment is just another word for clothing, okay? That's all it is. It's just, clothing. Because you have undergarments, you have you have garments that you wear on the outside and under, okay? So, verse 3. And thou shalt speak unto all that are wise, hearted, whom I have filled with the spirit of wisdom, that they may make Aaron's garments to consecrate him, that he may minister unto me in the priest's office, meaning that he should have a garment that shows a representation of the Most High. All right, something that is warlike apparel, something that doesn't look like a garment with a t-shirt. Meaning like, fringes on a t-shirt, okay? A t-shirt is an undergarment. A t-shirt is not a garment, all right? Fringes on your t-shirt is not approved by the Lord. Because it like in the Bible, it tells you exactly what a garment is, and it's not a damn t-shirt. You can't just put fringes on any and everything. There's rules on how we have to wear our clothes. It's cultural, it's traditional. The Most High is very specific and detail-oriented, all right? And once again, in the Bible, it's very clear on what a garment is. But what you see those fake Israelites wearing out there, that's not a garment. That is something that is not of the Lord. Verse 4. Let me see. Verse 4. And these are the garments which they shall make: a breastplate, and an ephod, and a robe, and a broidered coat, a meat tree, and a girdle. And they shall make holy garments for Aaron thy brother. Now, as you see right now, so this garment doesn't have a breastplate. A breastplate, it shows the stones that represents the nation of Israel. There are stones, so it's not about astrology. It doesn't tie into astrology whatsoever. But there are people out there that always try to correlate stones with your birthstone. In a sense, it is our birthstone, but there's no astrology behind it, right? As far as the nation of Israel, there are stones, there are symbols that represents each tribe, and this is what this the scripture is going to get into. But however, with that being said, all that astrology stuff comes from the other nations. It does not come from the Bible whatsoever. There are people that would try to
try to mix it in, but that is not the case at all. You will need further proof to prove that, but that's not the case whatsoever, right? So this garment does not have a breastplate, meaning it doesn't have all the stones. The 12 stones represents the 12 tribes, right? But however, it does have, I got fringes, I got a headpiece, I have a girdle, I have a garment, all right, which is in the scriptures, what Aaron was supposed to be made by his brothers, okay? Let's keep going. And his sons, that he may minister unto me in the priest's office. Verse 5, and they shall take gold and blue and purple and scarlet and fine linen. Verse 6, and they shall make the ephod of gold and of blue and of purple and of scarlet and fine swine linen with cunning work. Verse 7, it shall have the 2 shoulder pieces thereof joined at the 2 edges thereof, and so it shall be joined together. Verse 8, and the curious girdle of the ephod which is upon it shall be of the same, according to the work thereof, even of gold and of blue and purple and scarlet and fine swine linen. Verse 9, and thou shalt take 2 onyx stones and engrave on them the names of the children of Israel. Verse 10, 6 of their names on one stone, and the other 6 names of the rest of the other stone, according to their birth. So, as you know, once again, this is showing the stones represents the 12 tribes. So 6 is going to have the names on those stones, and then 6 more. So 6 plus 6 is 12, which represents the 12 tribes of Israel, all right? So, just to give a little backstory. Also, too, when it talks about Aaron's brother, one of his brothers would be Moses. Moses and Aaron are brothers, all right? Let's go to verse 11 now. With the work of an engraver in stone, like the engravings of a signet, shalt thou engrave the 2 stones with the names of the children of Israel. Thou shalt make them to be set in the ouches of gold, the ouches of gold. Verse 12. And thou shalt put the 2 stones upon the shoulders of the ephod for stones of memorial unto the children of Israel. And Aaron shall bear their names before the Lord upon his 2 shoulders for a memorial. Now, it's giving you a description of how this garment and its breastplate is going to be set up. All right, it's showing you the fashion, the designer that is unto the Lord. All right. Verse 13, and thou shalt make ouches of gold. Verse 14, and 2 chains of pure gold at the ends of the writhen work shalt thou make them, and fasten the writhen chains to the ouches. Hopefully I'm saying that word right. Lord allow. I think it's ouches. Verse 15, and thou shalt make the breastplate of judgment with cunning work. After the work of the ephod, thou shalt make it of gold, of blue, and of purple, and of scarlet, and of fine twined linen shalt thou make it. Verse 16, 80 it shall be, being doubled, a span shall be length thereof, and a span shall be the breadth thereof. So now it's giving you the measurements of this actual breastplate. Okay, now breastplate, by the way, this is gold, this is onyx, this is many different colors, but these are real heavy stones, and real stones have some weight to it. So imagine all 12 stones, different types of stones, by the way, that are on this breastplate of gold. That's heavy. And then you have to have the chain to hold it up around your neck, or to have, you got to have 2 chains connected to the breastplate that has to hold on to, I believe it's at the shoulder of the actual garment. So imagine that, like, that's badass, man. That's a badass garment, if you ask me. Like, just how we're breaking it down and reading it, I can already see how it looks in my mind, picture it. Okay, let's keep going. Verse 17, last verse. And thou shalt set in its setting of stones, even 4 rows of stones. The first row shall be a sardius, a topaz, and a carbuncle. This shall be the first row. Now, also too, what you want to understand as well when it comes to the stones that it's speaking about in the scriptures, there are Israelite groups, fake Israelite groups, right, that are not associated with the Israelite school of universal practical knowledge whatsoever. There are Israelite groups or clubs that have, clothing or garments, so to speak, with or a breastplate, I should say, with stones on it, but it's painted. Like if you're going to try to implement or imitate what the scriptures are saying, you should go all the way through with it. You should not be halfway with it. It should not be watered down. It should be 100% that thing that you are trying to accomplish, that thing that you are trying to imitate. It should not be halfway done, half-assed. Okay? Let's keep going. Actually, let's go back into the Hebrew. All right? We are at Exodus chapter 28, verse 18 through 24. Let's get to it. Let me see something. Okay. Let's keep it going. Exodus chapter 28, verse 18. Wahatawar, Hashunya, Napak, Sapiyar, Wayahalam, verse 19. Wahatawar, Hashar Yashla, Shalaki. Hashalayashya. Yeah, that's a tongue twister right there. Lashon, Shabwa, Wa'ak Halama, verse 20. Wa'atawar, Harabiah, Tharashiash, Washaham, Wayashapa, Masha, so like it, Masha Batazayam, Zahab, Yahayawa, Salakia, Bamal Watham, Bamal Watham. That's a long word, Salakia. Verse 21. Wabunyan, Bayan, Al, Shamath, Bunya, Yasha'ala, Shafian, Asherah, Asherah, Al, Shematham, Pathawakia, Kawatham, Ayash, Al, Shamwa, Thayan, Lashanya, Ashar, Shabbat, verse 22. Wa Ashereth, Al, Hakashan, Sharsha, Kabbalah, Mayashah, Ibath, Sahab, Tawar, verse 23. For Ashereth, Al, Hakashan, Shathia, Tabawath, Zahab, Wanathath, Ath, Shathia, Slakia, Hatabayawath, Al, Shunya, Quatazawath, Hakashan, verse 24, last verse. Wanathath, Ath, Shathia, Abathath, Hazahab, yeah, there we go. Al, Shathia, Hatabayath, Al, Quatazawath, Hakashan. That's it on that. Let's get back to it. Exodus chapter 28, verse 18. And the second robe shall be an emerald, a sapphire, and a diamond. 19. And the third robe, a ligure, an agate, and a amethyst. Verse 20. And the fourth robe, a beryl, and an onyx, and a jasper. They shall be set in gold in their enclosings. Verse 21. And the stone shall be with the names of the children of Israel, 12 according to their names, like the engravings of a signet. Everyone with his name shall they be according to the 12 tribes. Verse 20. And thou shalt make upon the breastplate chains at the ends of the written work for pure gold, of pure gold. Verse 23. And thou shalt make upon the breastplate 2 rings of gold, and shalt put the 2 rings on the 2 ends of the breastplate. Verse 24. And thou shalt put the 2 written chains of gold in the 2 rings which are on the ends of the breastplate. So once again, it's still giving you a much greater detail of how this breastplate and the stones are going to be, together. Now, once again, these stones have nothing to do with astrology, but everything to do with the birth of each tribe of the nation of Israel. All right, which there are 12 tribes. Once again, and each stone represents each one. Okay. Now, also, too, their names have to be engraven in each stone as well. All right, so let me see here. Also, too, these stones is a signet, meaning a signature. It's a representation of each tribe. Like, for example, when you look at the 12 tribes chart, you should be able to see symbols. All right, like the lion is for the Lion of Judah. Dice represents Levi. All right, or casting lots, so to speak. But we'll get into that in a second. That's all 7 for that right there. Let's go ahead and get Exodus chapter 28, verse 25 through 31. All right. Exodus chapter 28, verse 25. Wa'ath, Shathia, Quatazawath, Shathia, Ha'abathath, Tathan, Al, Shathia, Hamashabatazawath, Wanathath, Al, Kathapawath, Hapad, Al, Mawal, Panyawa. Verse 26. Va'ashereth. Yeah. Shakya. Taba'aiwath. Zahab. Vashamath. Atham, Al, Shanya, Quatazawath, Hakashan, Al, Shapathwa, Ashar, Al, Ibar, Hapad, Bayatha. Verse 27. Ashir, Shathia, Tabawath, Tabayawath, Zahab, Wanathath, Atham, Al, Shathia, Kathapawath, Hapawad, Malamata, Mamawal, Panyawat, Liamath, Slaki, Makarabathwa, Mama Al, Lakashah, Hakapawad, Ha'akpawad, Slaki. Verse 28. Slaki. Wayarakaswa, Ath, Hakashan, Matsu, Slaki, Matsubayeth Yawa, Al, Tabayeth, Hapad, what's that? Bapathayor, Thakalath, Lahayawath, Al, Kashab, Hapawad, Wala'ah, Yazak, Hakashan, Ma'al, Ha'awapat, like Ha'apawad, verse 29, Wanashat, Aharan, Ath, Shemawath, Banya, Yasha'ala, Bakashan, Hamashapat, Al, Labwa, Babawa, Al, Hakadash, Lazakaran, Lapanya, Yahweh, Thamayad, verse 30. Monathath, Al, Kashan, Hamashapat, Ath, Hawarium, Wa'ath, Hathamium, Wahayawa, Al, Lab, Aharan, Babawa, Lapanya, Yahweh, Wanashah, Aharan, Ath, Mashapat, Banya, Yasha'ala, Al, Labwa, Lapanya, Yahweh, Thamayad. Verse 31, last verse. Wa'ashiath, Wayashah, there we go. Ma'aliu, Salah. Mayol, Hapawad, Koyalol, Koyol, Takalat. And that's it on that part. Clap it up. All right, let's go ahead and keep going. Okay. Psalms. Exodus chapter 28, verse 25. And the other two ends of the two written chains thou shalt fasten in the two uches, and put them on the shoulder pieces of the ephod before it. 26. And thou shalt make 2 rings of gold, and thou shalt put them upon the 2 ends of the breastplate, and the border thereof, which is in the side of the ephod inward. Salaki. Verse 27. And 2 other rings of gold thou shalt make, and shalt put them on the 2 sides of the ephod underneath, toward the forward part thereof, over against the other coupling thereof, above the curious girdle of the ephod. Verse 28. And they shall bind the breastplate by the rings thereof unto the rings of the ephod with a lace of blue, that it may be above the curious girdle of the ephod, and that the breastplate be not loosened from the ephod. Verse 29. And Aaron shall bear the names of the children of Israel in the breastplate of judgment upon his heart, when he goeth in unto the holy place for a memorial before the Lord continually. So, getting straight to the point, right? Aaron is going to talk to the children of Israel, but once he goes to talk to the children of Israel, he's going to have a garment with the breastplate that's going to show the stones that represents all 12 tribes of the nation. All right, let's keep going. And once again, this is in the representation of the Most High, because this is his chosen people. Verse 30. And thou shalt put in the breastplate of judgment the Urim and the Thummim, the Urim and the Thummim, and they shall be upon Aaron's heart when he goeth in before the Lord. And Aaron shall bear the judgment of the children of Israel upon his heart before the Lord continually. Verse 31. And thou shalt make the robe of the ephod all of blue. All right. So let's stop there. Let's go to Exodus chapter 28, verses 32, all the way to verse 38. All right, let's get to it. Verse 32. Wahaya, Paya, Ra'ashwa, Bathawakwa, Shapah, Yahaya, Lapayawa, Sabaya, Ma'asha, Arad, Kapah, Thakara, Yahaya, Lawa, La'ah, Yakurai. Verse 33. Wa'ashia, Shawalayawa, Ramania, Takalath, Wawa Salaki. What Avram Salaki. What Salaki. What Aragman. There you go. What Aragman. What Thawaliah. Shanya. Al. Shawayawa. Sabaya. Wapamanya. Sahab. What thou will come. Sabaya. Verse 34. Verse 34. Paiman. No, Paiman. Zahab. Waramawan. Paiman. Zahab. Mawan. Al. Shawaya. Hamayon. Sabaya. Verse 35. Wahaya. Al. Haran. Lasharaf. Wanashamai. Kawawa. Babawa. Al. Hakadash. Lapanya. Yahweh. Yabataza Athwa. Wala'ah. Yamawath. Verse 36. Wa'ashif. Tayataza. Zahab. Tawar. Wapatakath. Yeah. Al-Yawa. Patawakia. Katham. Kodash. La Yahweh. Verse 37. Bashamath. Athwa. Al. Pathayal. Thakalat. Yahaya. Al. Hamatazan Path. Al. Mawal. Hanya. Hamatazan Path. Yahaya. Verse 38, last verse. Yahaya. So like Wahaya. Al. Matazaak. Haran. Or it's like Aharan. Onashah. Aharan. Af. Iwan. Hakodashim. Ashar. Yakodashwa. Banya. Yasha'ala. Lakol. Matana. Kodash Yaham. Wahaya. Al. Matazakwa. Famawad. La Ratazawan. Laham. Lapanya. Yahweh. That's it on that. Let's clap it up. All right. Let's keep going. Exodus chapter 28, verse 32. And there shall be a hole in the top of it, in the midst thereof. It shall have a binding of woven work round about the whole of it, as it were the whole of an herbergon, that it be not rent. Verse 33, and beneath upon the hem of it, thou shalt make pomegranates of blue, and of purple, and of scarlet, round about the hem thereof, and veils of gold between them round about. 34, a golden veil and a pomegranate, a golden veil and a pomegranate upon the hem of the robe round about. So it's giving you the idea of how this breastplate and this robe is going to look. All right. Let me see if I can find a picture real quick. Give me 1 second here. Let's see if I can find this real fast. All right. Try to give you guys an idea of how this looked. Okay. Trying to give you a realistic idea. So I'm gonna put this on the screen real quick, just to kind of give y'all like an idea. All right. All right. So let's see. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. So if y'all were to look right here, right? If y'all look right here, everything that we are reading in the English, right? As far as okay. Well, first things first. A couple of chapters ago, like 3 chapters ago, we read about the Ark of the Covenant and how this was all created, right? Now we have a picture of the Ark of the Covenant, and we have a picture of the breastplate with the garment, with the headpiece, with the girdle. Okay, and this is all right here, right? What we are reading about. Okay, now I think the girdle is I think the girdle is hiding just a little bit, but however, this is just an idea. This is not the exact picture, but this is the idea of the garment with the best breastplate with the actual 12 stones. All right, so that's just an idea. All right, thought I'd just bring that out real quick. Let's keep going. Okay. Verse 35, and it shall be upon Aaron to minister, and his sound shall be heard when he goeth in unto the holy place before the Lord, and when he cometh out, that he die not. 36, and thou shalt make a plate of pure gold, engrave upon it like the engravings of a signet, holiness to the Lord. 37, thou shalt put it on a blue lace, that it may be upon the meat tree. Upon the forefront of the meat tree it shall be. Like, for example, like how this says ISUPK on the forefront of the headpiece. And once again, a meat tree. Okay, a meat tree is a head covering with the hole open at the top, right? And it's a covering. Okay. Let me see something. Yeah, so it's a covering, right? So for example, once again, this is not the most accurate, but this is the best that it's going to get right here. This headpiece right here, at the top of his head, this is a headpiece. But the only problem with this, there should be a hole at the very middle of the crown of his head. Because a man's head must not be covered, but uncovered. So you can wear anything on top of your head when it comes to prophesying or teaching the scriptures. But you have to have an opening on the crown of this meat tree. All right? Or you can have this, which is a headpiece, where this is all open. My crown is open, which is the center, the middle of your crown, which is your head. Okay, but this right here is a headpiece. But you have a war scarf, a headpiece, a meat tree, so on and so forth, right? So some people think a turban is a meat tree, which it is not. It is not of the Lord to wear a turban. That's somebody else's culture. It's not the Lord's. Let's keep going. Let's see. Verse 38. And it shall be upon Aaron's forehead, that Aaron may bear the iniquity of the holy things, which the children of Israel shall hallow in all their holy gifts. And it shall be always upon his forehead, that they may be accepted before the Lord. Once again, this is all cultural. Everything that the Israelite school of universal practical knowledge does comes out of the Bible. All right. So what I'm wearing today is what Aaron was wearing yesterday, so to speak. What the prophets and priests were wearing before time is what we are wearing in this time. Okay. All right. So that was it on that. Let's get verse 39 in Hebrew all the way to chapter 29. All right. All right. Let's go. All right. Most High in Christ. Let's get it. Exodus chapter 28, verse 39. What Shabbatazas? Hakathanath, Shasha, Wa'ashia, Slaki. Matazan Path, Shasha, Wa'abanat, Ma'aisha, Raquam, verse 40. Walabanya, Aharon, Ba'aisha, Kathana, Wa'aishith, Laham, Abanatya, Wamag, Bayawath, Thyasha, Laham, Lakabwath, Walata Parath, verse 41. So, give me 1 second here. Waha, Labashath, Atham, Ath, Aharon, Akia, Wa'ath, Banyawa, Aqua, Wamashakath, Atham, Wamala'ath, Ath, Yadam, Wakodash, Atham, Wakahanwa, Laya, verse 42. Wayasha, Laham, Makanasya, Ba, Lakasawath, Bashar, Irawa, Mamathanium, Wa'ai, Yerakium, Yahayawa, sorry, Yahayawa, verse 43. Wahayawa, Al, Aharon, Wa'al, Banyawa, Baba'am, Al, Ahom, Mama'ai, Iwa. Bagashtam, Al, Hamazabak, Lasharat, Bakwadash, Wala'ah, Yasha'awa, Iwan, Wamathwa, Kakwa, Iwalam, Lawa, Walazariwa, Akaryawa, chapter 29, verse 1. Wazah, Hadabar, Ashar, La'isha, Laham, Laquadash, Atham, Lakan, Laya, Laquak, Para, also like a Par, Akkad, Bun, Bakwar, Wa'ayalam, Shanyam, Thamanium. Verse 2. Verse 2, last verse. Walakam, Matazawaf, Wakalat, Matazak, yeah. Balawalat, Bashaman, Warakwa Yakra. That's like it. Warakwa Yakra. Yeah. Matazawaf. Meshakim. Bashaman. Salah. Kathiam. Diashai, a thumb. That's it on that. Type it up. All right, Messiah in Christ. All right, let's get back to it. Exodus chapter 28, verse 39. And thou shalt embroider the coat of fine linen, and thou shalt make the mitre of fine linen, and thou shalt make the girdle of needlework. Verse 40. And for Aaron's sons thou shalt make coats, and thou shalt make them girdles, for them girdles, and bonnets shalt thou make for them, for glory and for beauty. 41. And thou shalt put them upon Aaron thy brother, and his sons with him, and shalt anoint them, and consecrate them, and sanctify them, that they may minister unto me in the priest's office. All right. Now, this is Moses speaking, by the way. Okay. And thou shalt make them linen breeches to cover their nakedness. From the loins even unto the thighs they shall reach. It's talking about a garment, right? 43. And they shall be upon Aaron and upon his sons when they come in unto the tabernacle of the congregation, or when they come near unto the altar to minister in the high place or the holy place, that they bear not iniquity and die. It shall be a statute forever unto him and his seed after him. All right, so that's a blessing, of course, where Aaron's children and Aaron himself is going to be blessed forever. All right, and of course, keeping the tradition of the Most High as well. All right, chapter 29, verse 1 through 2. And this is the thing that thou shalt do unto them to hallow them, to minister unto me in the priest's office. Take one young bullock and 2 rams without blemish. Verse 2. And unleavened bread and cakes unleavened, tempered with oil, and wafers unleavened, anointed with oil. And wheaten flour shalt thou make them. All right. Let's stop right there. Let's keep going. Back to the Hebrew. Exodus chapter 29, verse 3. Verse 3. When a thigh, our thumb, our soul, a cod, so like Wahab Kwarabath, a thumb, Basal, Wa'ath, Hapar, Wa'ath, Shanya, Ha'ayalam, verse 4, Wa'ath, Aharam, Aharan, Wa'ath, Bunyawa, Thakara, Al, Pathak, Ahol, Moai, Barakatasa, a thumb, Bamayim, verse 5. Wala Kwakat, it's like Wala Kwakat, Ath, Habagati, Lahabashath, Ath, Aharan, Ath, Hakatanath, Wa'ath, Mayar, it's like Mayol, Hapad, Wa'ath, Hapad, Wa'ath, Hakashan, Wa'apadath, Lawat, Bakashah, Hapad, verse 6, Washamath, Hamatazan Hath, Am, Ra'ashwa, Wanathath, Nazar, Hakodash, Al, Hamatazan Path, verse 7. Wala Pukwat, Salaki, Wala Pukkat, Shaman, Hamashaka, Bayatasakwa, Al, Ra'ashwa, Wamashaka, Athwa, verse 8, Wa'ath, Banyawa, Thakara, Shalakia, Wahad, Labashatham, Bathanat, verse 9, last verse. What could Garath? A thumb. Abanat. Aharon. What Banyawa? Wakabasha. Lahum. Makbayeth. Wahayatha. Lahum. Kana. La Kokwath. Iwalum. Wamala'ath. Yad. Aharon. Wayad. Banyawa. And that's it. Yeah, that's it. Clap it up. All right. Exodus chapter 29, verse 3. And thou shalt put them into one basket, and bring them in the basket with the bullock and the 2 rams. Verse 4. And Aaron and his rams, and Aaron and his sons, thou shalt bring unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and shalt wash them with water. 5. And thou shalt take the garments and put upon Aaron the coat and the robe of the ephod, and the ephod and the breastplate, and gird him with the curious girdle of the ephod. 6. And thou shalt put the meat tree upon his head, and put the holy crown upon the meat tree. 7. And thou shalt take the anointing oil and pour it upon his head, and anoint him. 8. And thou shalt bring his sons and put coats upon them. 9. And thou shalt gird them with girdles, Aaron and his sons, and put the bonnets on them. And the priest's office shall be theirs for a particular statute. And thou shalt consecrate Aaron and his sons. Stop right there. Now, next week, we are going to break this down a little bit more to see what is the whole reason behind Aaron and his sons wearing these glorious garments. What is the occasion? What is the event? What is the setting? All right. We are going to get into that next week, but we are going to dive into this right now. Okay. Actually, let me see something. All right. Let's get to the last 7, which is verses 10 all the way to 16 in the Hebrew. All right. Exodus chapter 29, verse 10. Waha Parabath Af Kapar Lapanya Aho Mawa'ai Wasamak Aharon Wabanyawa Af Yat Yahum, Al, Ra'ach, Hapar, verse 11. Washak Katat, Ath, Hapar, Lapanya, Yahweh, Pathat, Ahom, Mawa'ai, verse 12. Wala Hukath, Madam, Hapar, Wanad the Thought, Al, Parnath, Hamazabak, Ba'itazak, Wa'ath, Kol, Padam, Bashapak, Al, Yasawad, Hamazabak, verse 13, Wala Kwakat, Wala Kwakat, Ath, Kol, Hakala, Hamakasa, Ath, Hakara, Wa'ath, Hayathrath, Al, Hakabad, Wa'ath, Shafya, Hakoyah, Wa'ath, Hakala, Ashar, Al Yahan, Wahab Patarath, Hamazabak, verse 14. Wa'ath, Bashar, Hapar, Wa'ath, Irwa, Wa'ath, Parashwa, Tasharak, Ba'ash, Makawataza, Lama Kana, Katath, Hawa'ah, verse 15. Wa'ath, Hayol, Hayol, Hakai, the Quak, Wasamakwa, Aharon, Wabanyawa, Ath, Yad Yaham, Al, Ra'ash, Hayol, verse 16, last verse. Washakat. So like what? Washakatat. Ah. Hayol. Wala kwat. Wala so like wala kwat. Kat. Ah. Damwa. Slaki. Wazirquat. Hamaza Slaki. Hamaza Bak. Sabaya. And that's it on that. Wrap it up. All right. Let me see something real quick. All right. So that's all 7 verses. Let's go ahead and read it into the English, okay? All right. Exodus chapter 29, verse 10. And thou shalt cause a bullock to be brought before the tabernacle of the congregation. And Aaron and his sons shall put their hands upon the head of the bullock. 11. Thou shalt kill the bullock before the Lord by the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. 12. And thou shalt take of the blood of the bullock and pull it upon the horns of the altar with thy finger, and pour all the blood beside the bottom of the altar. 13. Thou shalt take all the fat that covereth the inwards, and the caul that is above the liver, and the 2 kidneys, and the fat that is upon them, and burn them upon the altar. 14. But the flesh of the bullock and his skin and his dung shalt thou burn with the fire without the camp. It is a sin offering. 15. Thou shalt also take 1 ram, and Aaron and his sons shall put their hands upon the head of the ram. 16. And thou shalt slay the ram, and thou shalt take his blood and sprinkle it round about upon the altar. All right. So that's it on that. So once again, next week we are going to dive into what all of this represents and what all of this means per se. All right. So that being said, imagine, which means to stand. All right. All right. All right. Once again, I imagine, which means to stand. Rapani Hakudam, which means to rise. Rise to face the east. All right. This is the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. And it reads, Abnau, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shabta, Yahweh, Malak Waka, Taba'a, Rakazaka, Hayah, Asha, Barakaza, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayim, Athalanau, Lakam, Kawad Yavam, Basalaknawa, Kawawaknawa, Kasalaknawa, Kawawaknawa, Wala'a, Taba'ana, Wadasaya 1, Hawashinawa, Mayan, Ra, Kayala, Ka, Hamalakwa, Wa'ala, Watapara, La Awalamim, Aman. In the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Yahweh. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever, so be it. Amen. Hakak, the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, Babakashah, Nathan Lanaw, Hakak, Larpa'ah, Karmakala, Wakar Madawa, Hakak, Latahar, Hamatazari, Hakak, Lahakim, Hamathi, Hakak, Arakawat, Hasama'ala, Lagarshan, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, the Wadaman, the power in the English. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shah, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out. In the name of Yahweh Shah, thank you, so be it. Bless Israel in the Hebrew. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, Barak Panawa, Vayasha'ala, Wahabayah, Sapari, Barak, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, the Wadaman. In the English, what we just said was, Lord, in the name of Yahweh Shah, bless us in Yasha'ala and the school. In the name of Yahweh Shah, thank you, so be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'a, Ayanya, Aharia, Ma'ayan, Yaba'a, Azaria, Ma'an, Yahweh, Aisha, Shemayim, Barakazah, Ayathan, Lamawats, Ragalka, Ayanawam, Shamarka, Hana, La'a, Yanawam, Bala'a, Yashan, Shawamar, Yasha'ala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazarka, Ayah, Yamyaka, Yabamam, Hashamash, La'a Yakakak, Wayarak, Balayala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Bakara, Yashamar, Afkapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Taza'atka, Wawatka, Mayatha, Wa'ai, Awalam. Psalms 121 in the English.
I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills, for whence cometh my help? My help cometh from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Yashar'Allah shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall reserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in, from this time forth and even forevermore. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim, Adam Yalaka, Ata Karash, Ata Shakwat, Al Kayahana, Awapika, Yaham Yawan, Ra'ash, Al Amaka, Yarayam, Sawada, Wayata Yatazawa, Al Tazapawanyaka, Amaru, like Hawa, Munakakilam, Magoya, Wala'a, Yazakar, Shamya Sha'ala, Iwada, Kaya, Nawai Tazawa, Laba, Yakadwa, Ayaka, Barya, Yakaratwa, Ahoya, Adawan, Waya Shama Aliyam, Wa'awa, Wa'gardi, Gabal, Wa'awan, Wa'malak, Falashak, I'm Yashab, Yatazabor, Gam Ashawar, Nalawa, Iman, Hayawa, Zerai, Labanya Lawat Salah, Ashalaham, Kamadi, Kasiyasa Ra'a, Kayabi, Banakor, Koyashwan, Nashimatwa, Bayanda Or, Hayawa, Gaman, La Adama, Shethamwa, Nada, Yabawa, Kaira, Wakazabat, Wakazomana, Karnas, Yakamwa, Ashar, Amaru, Narashah, Lanawa, Af, Na'awa, Alahayim, Alahaya, Shethamu, Kagogla, Kakwash, Lapanya, Waraka, Ka'ash, Kabari, Ira, Wakalabat, Alahat, Hori, Kandar, Katma, Basarika, Basu, Pathka, Kalaham, Mala'a, Panyahan, Kwalawan, Wayapakwashwa, Shaka, Yahweh, Yabashwa, Wayapahoa, Ayah, Wayakaparu, Wayabatwa, Wayadaiwa, Kayatha, Shaka, Yahweh, Labaka, Al Yuwan, Al Kaharakasa. Psalms 83 in the English. Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh. Hold not thy peace and be not still, O Yahweh. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult. The day that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Yashar'Allah may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with what consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes of Baal, and Ammon and Amalek, the Philistines, the habits of Tyre, Ashur also is joined with them. They have hoped in the children of Lot, Salah, doing to them as to the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, as the brook Kisan, which appears at Endor. They became as dung for the earth, making numbers like a rib and like Zeb, yea, all the princes as a Bob, and as Zamuna, who said, let us take to ourselves the house of Yahweh in possession, O my power, make them like a wheel as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth the wood, and as the flames set the mountains on fire. So curse become thy tempest and make them afraid of thy storm. Fill their faces with shame that they may seek thy name, O Lord. Let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let me put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high over all the earth. All right. ISK power structures. Blessed are you, Yahweh, King of heaven and earth and all things living. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, listen to us now, right now. Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction to the heathen that speak against us. Thy prophets, the teachers, the princes, the priests, the Israelite brothers, and the school. Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction to the heathen. And shake loose the treasure of the rich of Israel that refuse against the school. Force their riches to enter thy sanctuary. Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction to the Edomites, and the nations, and the drug dealers, the court system, the prison system, Planned Parenthood, all the members of our enemies, Amalek synagogues and armies, Roman Catholic Church, the Pope, Islam, Christianity, Egyptology, militia, Ku Klux Klan, Aryan nations, skinheads, Cosmopolitizing, the gay movement, the lesbian movement, spies, works of witchcraft, NASA space program, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Wall Street, open up the internet, in the airwaves, cable access channels, in the radio channels, convict the spirit of any of thy people that seek to stop us, and bring swift destruction to all the heathen that stand in the way. Like, or try to stop us to broadcast your words like planet Earth. Let us all the place cause them to go to and fro through the earth and consume them. Let the place hit the house of the thief and the murderer. Let Yahweh Shai, Michael, and Gabriel come down with flying saucers and punish all the heathens that come up against us as we speak thy word. Cause them to know, Cause it to be known by all that it's the angels that have done it. Cause it to be spread through the media, throughout the whole world. Cause it to shake at thy coming. In the name of Yahweh Shai, thank you always, so be it. All right. Sar, which means to turn. All right. Okay. All right. Go. All right, so with that being said, I'm slacking. Let's salute out. Men of Israel. My Shabbat, Imagine, Barak, Yahweh Bashem Al Shabbat. That's Patah. Courtesy salute for the sisters. Sar, which means to turn. Men of Israel. My Shabbat, Imagine, Barak, Yahweh Shamar Al Bashem Al Shai. That's Patah. Class dismissed. Shalom, Israel.